Hello everyone, Lumen here. Happy Friday to you all. Hope you're all doing well. Hello Phil, hello Rainier. The BGA noises are promising. Yeah, you heard me taking a move in, something. Right before I got on here. Good reminder that I should probably mute before going into anything too crazy. Alright, so quick couple of announcements, stream related, before starting up a game or joining someone's whose begins here. Number one, next Wednesday, not a normal stream day for me, but I will be streaming a very important Agricola game that I won't be playing in. A tournament on Play Agricola called the Seasons of Agricola Tournament has its final game on Wednesday. Normal stream time, just on Wednesday instead of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Big game, featuring CS Junior, Dafe, who is one of the best players in the world, has won the World Championship once, and won a big Play Agricola tournament once. Like 70 players, he won that over me when I placed second. So he's playing in that game with CS. Bigfoot729, a very strong Play Agricola regular, and Turambar, who is the Norwegian champion and one of the highest rated players on like all platforms. So the final of that tournament, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I think that makes it 7 p.m. Central European. Right here, I'll be casting with Blackjack Davey, who runs the season's tournament. And we'll have access to all four players' hands throughout the whole game. It'll be a pleasure. You can find the semi-final game on my YouTube channel, !YouTube. So that's announcement number one. Announcement number two, we are less than a week until my birthday, and normally I don't publicize this kind of thing, but I think it's more likely than not that for my birthday next Thursday, I'll be streaming multiple games. Not sure if I'll feel like Agricola that day. Not sure what I'll feel like that day, but maybe we'll have a long birthday stream if I feel like it. At worst, I'll do the normal Agricola, but more likely than not to have more than that. So Wednesday, Thursday next week should be really fun on the stream here. Now that that's out of the way, nobody random has created a game yet, so I will do it. 24... No. Get out of here, Thand. Pretty sure I've never had a stream longer than, like, 3 hours. Should we mix up the draft today? There were some bug fixes overnight where the draft timer was changed to be improved. Let's do this. And also there were issues with the guild scoring for a brief period yesterday, but that has been fixed up. So now the guild scoring is working correctly. The draft timer is now, I think they bumped up the per turn increment to be correct instead of halfway. And at the end of the draft, you get your timer reset completely, I think is what happens. So with this draft 7 together, the strategies will be a bit different. I also can't request that Caravan be banned because, not drafting the last card when it's forced to be in your hand is kind of silly. I also did want to do at some point just one game with Caravan to give like actual evidence that it's too much. So if I get the Caravan or if someone else shows it off for us, I can just show you all that there's nothing to defend against it. Not sure why that player decided to leave, but maybe they reread the settings and it's not what they wanted. Could be many reasons. Starve the player. We can certainly do our best to defend against it. And maybe we can showcase how to play against it if you need to. We do not have Caravan here. I am start player again. Harpooner House Steward is interesting. I think I'll probably go for Priest Big Country here. Loom is definitely solid. Moldboard Plow is worth noting. Butter Churn is good. I'm definitely seeing the sheep combos here, but... do I need to first pick Priest? I probably don't need to first pick Priest. I would if I knew my competition was good, but... this player's rating is fine. I'm not sure how strong these other players are. I would also pick Big Country first against good competition. But you know, let's get very greedy. Let's get very greedy and pick Carpenter Loom, Cottager Loom. I'm gonna get very greedy. Carpenter Loom is your pick. I mean, these are definitely solid picks. I most likely won't regret them. Carpenter feels a little weak. It's a House Steward game. It can't be that bad. Let's take a look at this timer. We're ending at 1:22 here. It's supposed to be 40 seconds per turn in a fast settings game. This player's playing on mobile. That might be an issue for them. You could insta-pick and change later if you have low time. Well, that risks everyone else confirming while you have your uncertain pick. All right, there's a pick there. Oh, and we get big boosts to the timer. Great. All right, here's where I wish I took Cottager. No Caravan, but Loam Pit Assistant Tiller is pretty good. Assistant Tiller is the best day labor card of all the day labor related stuff. This looks fine. Lumber Mill's very good. Rammed Clay is very versatile. I'll be happy with whatever I get back minor-wise from this pack, because any of these four are quite solid. And then the Auk I get back probably doesn't matter. Do I think what will wheel? Cottager, maybe? The player pool is much too hard to predict right now. Except I am going to take the chance that Big Country is undervalued and Priest is undervalued. I'm still very happy to take both of those. I mean, maybe Cottager does get picked if someone early picked Seasonal Worker and sees the combo. It's not a direct combo, right? It's just like you take one of the actions and you happen to get the other. With Loam Pit, I'm definitely happy to do an early Reno into Clay. See if we can get a mantelpiece or something to spice that up even more. Right now, the game plan is most likely Assistant Tiller, Big Country. don't feel like copy-pasting the link because I'm lazy. Sleeping Corner and Strawberry Patch are both good here. A little weird I haven't gotten a grain source yet, or I'm not even sure I've seen one. I'm not really sure how much I want Sleeping Corner, but it's... like, Clearing Spade's actually pretty tempting. With no crop sources, because Clearing Spade really multiplies your crops, like, immediately, which makes sure you can do 2 sows in the late game and max out your crops, which is great when you don't have early sources of crops. It is still a House Steward game. Frame Builder is a fun combo with Carpenter, but I do have enough clay, so I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. I'm going to take Roof Baluster. It's a lot of stone if I go for a big house game. And I don't have any veg sources, so I think I should pick Clearing Spade or Sleeping Corner. Sleeping Corner keeps my big country options open. I don't have any Stonehouse combos, so Scholar's kind of eh. Given that I have a Loam Pit, I think Thick Forest might be easier to hit. And Master Bricklayer is just destructive if you grow early and often. And the other players don't know what you're up to. Don't realize what you're up to. So we don't find a Carpenter's Parlor, we don't find a Brushwood Collector, which means that Carpenter is the path to a lot of rooms this game for me. I might just pass on Big Country for variety's sake, even if it's the best card in the wheel pack here. Like I said, Big Country, Priest both came back. Definitely don't need the other stuff, though. House Steward is reasonable. Priest is more fun. Cottager did not come back. I think that I rate these 3 pretty highly. I think it's more of a mistake that these didn't get taken. I remember that Harpooner also got taken, along with Cottager. Like, that's reasonable. I think I'd rather not play Priest here. Against opponents I don't know their skill level, I think House Steward is just better than trying to force a small game. Having said that, now I see Lumber Mill and Small Scale Farmer. If I had a caravan, this would be super easy, Small Scale Farmer, Big Country Caravan Assistant Tiller game, and just, like, destroy everything on my way to 65 points. Lumber Mill's still going to be pretty good here, I think, even though... maybe it's not. Maybe Milk Jug is just better? If I'm running Big Family, I'm going to have enough clay. What's my first move of the game? If my first move of the game is Reedstone Food, should I take Pig Breeder? Should I play Small Scale Farmer first move? I don't think so. I think I'm going to save Assistant Tilling mostly till later. And go for something like Reedstone Food 2 Wood. Which means I take Lumber Mill Pig Breeder. Because Small Scale Farmer is, like, pretty bad if I don't play it early. And Dutch Windmill Sheep Whisperer. Pretty underwhelming there. Alright, and the timers do reset. Let us zoom out here. And get this one going. We're going big rooms. Yep, we knew we passed this line along with Priest. But, like, these should have been picked way earlier, is what I would argue. I should reorder my hand. You do basically want to click on the pictures. One grain, fourth move of the game. Interesting. I'll play Carpenter before House Steward here. All right, I usually skip songs with lyrics in them. Hello, do you want to move? This is kind of the order I'm expecting to play my Ox, followed by Miners. What has happened here? So 2 wood for Normandy Wet. 3 wood follows up with start player. That's totally fine. And I would probably expect a plow in the last position here. Didn't know you could zoom out and keep seeing your hand? Yeah, so the settings I'm using are a little particular. I'm on a 1920 1080 screen. I've got minimum card size, other player boards next to central board, hand cards under board, and 67% zoom on my Chrome. Oh, I didn't even full screen yet. There we go. That's what I'm supposed to do. And we do see a plow there. Fencing round 1, so round 2, nobody took 2 clay. That's what I'm noticing right now. This means that without early sheep or major improvement, the food might be slightly shorter in supply. Harpooner played this early. It's both here and there. Sowing first move is just wrong here because of the lack of competition for it. I don't hate doing it in general. Like, it's not the worst thing you could do, not at all. But it's not great. Start player retaken here. This could be the canoe. Yeah. I didn't see canoe, but this is something you could do. You could really bump up your own fishing space. This is still risky. Like, someone could fish for 2 here and be annoying, but I'm definitely taking 4 clay or 3 wood. I guess I could Ock House Steward. Alright, so that was switched to 4 clay. I'll take the 3 wood. Because of Harpooner Canoe, there's already going to be an extra amount of reed this game, which means that 2 wood from the 1 wood accumulation, a little interesting there. I'm not passing up 4 wood if I get it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because there's a lot of extra reed this game, Carpenter is going to be pretty cool. Reed is going to be usually the bigger pain point if you want a big house Carpenter. Definitely correct to first move fish here. I would have first move fished to both help myself and defend the action. 4 wood taken there by Hilarity. Good move. I don't see a reason to not take Reedstone Food again, honestly. I could start player Lumber Mill. I'm not concerned about Normandy Wep building a room. Maybe I should be, but... with sheep flipping 3rd and major flipping 4th, it's more likely correct for me to take 3 food here. Even though I've just had unimpeded access to Reedstone Food so far. And this kind of opening against players I don't know the skill level of is a reason to not go for hard assistant tiller big country strategy, is because there's just like so much good stuff on the board left by my opponents. Reedstone Food, in general, the best action in stage 1, but nobody's contested too hard for it. I even took it first action in the game. I was like, I like this spot. Nobody else followed me. That's their loss. What should Gray do here? Start player is viable, 3 food's viable, free Ock is viable. I don't really know what their plan is. But they are short 1 food. With the only person having a bunch of wood being the small-scale farmer... Oh, did I miss the conversation? Seasonal worker. So, that got taken right ahead of us. It could have been in the same starting pack as Assistant Tiller. This is the second to last action of the round. Let's play this lumber mill. And guarantee Reedstone Food again. Reedstone Food into House Steward is my likely 2 moves next round. I'm not going to build, even though Red can build. I'm going to challenge their small-scale farmer and just take the double build instead. Three food, last action for red, makes sense. It's probably the right move. Here, if I'm red, I probably take 2 reed. That's probably the move that would make me build a room. Because I don't want someone else to double build. Firewood Collector implies that he's not thinking about room building. That's the implication I get. I might look for ways to play Thick Forest kind of early. House Steward would let me play Loom. I already have the discount. We have a Hearth here for blue. Definitely fine to get the first cookery in pretty much any situation. Day labor plus a grain. I think Hilarity's biggest issue was going for 1 grain instead of seasonal worker. That's probably a rules misunderstanding, actually. Because playing seasonal worker in round 1 is just like way better than taking a raw grain. Playing an Ock here for a food I think makes sense. I will take 3 wood instead of playing House Steward right now. They have pretty easy access to day labor. You think I should take the reed? There's enough reed this game. I'm gonna double build. Whether that's the second and third rooms of the game or the first and second rooms doesn't matter that much to me. Hilarity can only build 2 stables here. I I think it's like way too good for me if Hilarity builds 2 stables here. Oh gosh. It's not good for them though. That's a bad use of wood. It's the Wild West out here. I forgot about House Steward. I got distracted. I was supposed to play House Steward with that move. Though wood policing might end up being the right move given how little blue and gray have shown to care about wood so far. So maybe this is still the right move somehow. Not allowing the 6 wood move seems good. Alright, the dream is for Grow to flip in 5 and for red to not care. And yeah, I can still play House Steward next round for 4 wood. It's Reno. We'll see what Normandy does here. I wouldn't be too surprised at a plow first move. I don't think it's right by any means, but I wouldn't be surprised right after seeing moldboard plow. It's an Ock. Greengrocer. Okay, so yeah, he's loading up on plowing and stuff. No, decides for 4 wood, okay. This should be a stomp, honestly. I don't really see how I get close to losing this game. The greediest thing I could do here would be take 3 reed. I still need to figure out my feeding for this stage, honestly. It's not airtight yet. I really don't think red is building a room. Having taken back the greengrocer move, I really think a plow is likely here for them. Play's been taken a little aggressively, in my opinion. Not hugely, but... Start player, Pond Hut. Yeah, if you have Pond Hut, you can't play Greengrocer first. Or you can, but it's a waste of a Pond Hut. It's probably reasonable enough compared to some other stuff I've seen here. Now, I could take 3 wood and go for a triple build. But at this point, I think I'm going to double build. Can I fully explain, like, the process that led me to double build this turn but not last turn? Not sure I can. Unless red builds a room this round, or blue does, I'm going to get to grow 2 rounds in a row. Which means I want 7 food. One will note that I did not play House Steward yet. I'm not going to get quite as much wood from it, but it's fine. Regarding my minor improvement on growth, not really sure what I'm doing. I will get an action before growing, and I think it's going to be fishing. Yeah, especially once blue takes the wood here instead of fishing. Oh, and this is a complete gift for me. Yeah, this is going to be trivial to win here. I'm going to grow with no minor improvement. I could play mini pasture, but I don't think that's going to be correct for me. Maybe it is. Definitely could have played House Steward to play Loom on growth, but I'll just do it next round. Alright, so I'm going to have all the actions. And they won't. And that's going to be the story of this game. So yeah, let's talk in chat while we cruise to victory here. What's up with all of you? How are you all doing? Also, we have late stone in this game. And I'm going to be master bricklayering. And I'm the only one who's taken Reedstone food yet. Go for beating Marushka's 67. The problem with that is I don't have a braggart. I can definitely shoot for 60. And 60, I'm going to justify as being Marushka's 67 minus 9 to 58, and then substitute braggart with like a 2-point action in the end. Obviously, human, you're bearing through a small heat wave here on the East Coast. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, heat waves are happening all over the place in random places, right? Do you usually get 92 in mid-July? LA has been like low 80s for the last 3 weeks, which is totally fine. Blue might be considering building a room here. Not unheard of, gotcha. Yeah, I guess that's one thing I never, like, thought about. I've traveled across the US plenty, but, like, in the Midwest and the East Coast, the summer temperatures actually aren't, like, crazy numerically, but, like, as everyone says, and I completely agree with, it's the humidity that really changes how it feels, right? Because, like, 88 with humidity is not great. Not a great time. And out here in LA, instead, we get, like, the mid-90s days. Right, yeah, like 92 with humidity, I do not want any part of that. NYC, yeah. I was in New York a couple summers ago, I want to say. Wasn't the easiest thing to deal with. Blue might have been planning on fishing and was stuck based on me taking it. 50% humidity. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's actually been a bit humid here, too. Like, more than usual humid for LA. Which, I'm not sure if it was 50, but I think it was at least 40%. I didn't actually check, but just kind of going off of gut feel here. So, what did... Is this, like, bake a single grain? Yeah, that can't be right. Or bake multiple grain? Day labor plus a veg is almost certainly better. My mini pasture moved. Can I not move when it's not my turn? This is a little disappointing. I think I probably have to build Basket Maker's Workshop next round. And pretty much puts mini pasture off the menu for now. That's fine. There is a 6 wood spot. 6 wood Basket Maker's Workshop without... okay, so Hilarity takes the 6 wood. That's fine with me. I should consider playing the Basket Maker's Workshop with this action and not worrying about losing the 2 stone. There will be enough stone in this game. I have a Master Bricklayer, I have a Roof Baluster. Why isn't this, like, moving? Guess I'll have to report that. Yeah, this is going to be by far my best source of feeding. So to spend 2 stone on it isn't ideal, but... Even not playing minor improvements on my grow is something I'm completely not sweating. And I think a lot of beginning and intermediate players would sweat not playing a minor improvement on grow, but just in the end it doesn't matter. Like, you're getting the extra action, you're getting the advantage that way. This move for me should probably be reed stone or 2 reed. I'm going to be needing 7 food. I'm getting 3 from Basket Maker's Workshop. Oh, whoops. I just ignored grow, but it's fine because red didn't have food. Got away with one there. Got sloppy. I guess that's what this exact game is getting sloppy and it not mattering. I'm 1 food short of playing mini pasture. Given that bottom feeding has been a lot more contested than I thought, well, I'm going to get my assistant tiller out. I have a Basket Maker's Workshop. We have a Sobake first move here, which again can't be right because it's not legal for anyone else to take. I'm going to get 3 reed first because it enables me to build a room and have enough reed to keep eating. I'm going to try to get up to 5 actions here, really put the clamps on this game. Probably realizing that Sobake is not contested, so if you want sheep, definitely take them now. So right now I've got 4 food for the next harvest. I do want to play House Steward this round to get 3 wood, and that gives me room parts. And I can play that on either occupation space. Of course, occupation could get taken. There's also an argument to play Assistant Tiller to have a day labor action this round. That would be pretty reasonable. Playing Master Bricklayer and playing the Well is also reasonable, because I have a 2 stone discount and the 1 wood discount. Lots of options, but I think I'd rather just take another room. Aim for Traveling Players at 3 next round. Be close to being able to pull everything off. Yeah, the veggie's wrong. Seasonal worker can give the veggie. not taking the food with it is interesting. Get 3 wood from the house steward. And if blue doesn't build rooms, I'll be able to grow next round. I'm down to only having 3 food with the Basket Maker's Workshop, and if I grow, I'm going to want 9. So maybe I need to delay my plans a little. Blue builds rooms anyway, so that's fine. So what would I like to do next round? 3 food traveling is pretty high up there. Playing assistant tiller and taking day labor is also up there. The price of unhindered growth, I know, right? It's so tragic. Probably a reedstone food here. I'm already going second next round. We're kind of hungry, Cricks. Winning this game won't be a big deal. Getting to 60 might be a little tougher. 6 clay is competitive in my estimation compared to 3 food. Yeah, Hilarity's action sequences are not from the most experienced player. I'm not exactly sure what 6 clay would do for any of my opponents. You know, Normandy's pretty hungry also. Better take traveling. I agree, it's a big stack, so someone will take it. But that's what we have Loam Pit for. Currently on 4 food, playing a knockdown to 3 with his assistant tiller. Teal has ramp clay? Ah, good point. We have a Loam Pit. We're fine. I probably shouldn't play Loam Pit yet. I do need to start assistant tilling, I think. There is the 6 clay for blue. Doesn't bother me too much. I do need a 3rd dock for Loam Pit, but that's what assistant tiller is going to do here. So likely assistant tiller, day labor, and start player for 6 wood. I could build a room instead of start player, and that would let me grow. So I guess that's better. I would have to grow with loom, but I don't think I mind that. Clay embankment. Oh, man. Clay embankment for 7. That deserves a :O. Whoops. probably the clay oven here. Yeah. Not very efficient to be baking the grain, but that's just the spot they're in. One room's enough. Don't need to build one stable. One stable never does much. Don't have a big need for Dutch windmill here. Yeah, I'm thinking 60 isn't very likely right now. My food situation really could be better. And I'm not going to have a huge big country. Maybe 55 is a more reasonable goal here. I don't have a crop source either. Keep my mouse here so I don't mess up. Like I did once already this game. This passes 6 wood along, but I think my opponents are overly blasé about wood as it is, so I don't expect to have too many issues with it by the end game. Like, if Red doesn't build any more rooms, then what does he need more wood for? He has a firewood collector also. Alright, so other moves I should do here. Day labor, 4 wood. Hard porcelain, that's a good way to use clay. Two boar, reasonable. The other day laborer is not doing anything right now. There's like 4 stone on the board, which for me is the same as playing roof baluster. Master bricklayer free well, we can get there. But not immediately because I can't play master bricklayer without food. Blue actually can't use Harpooner right now because they don't have wood. They have plenty of clay to fence with, but I would think pottery is pretty likely here for blue. Turn 4 clay to 3 stone, then buy the pottery. I actually don't know how the hard porcelain interface looks on this. Could also consider fencing to take some sheep off the board. It's really funny that in a late stone game, like 3 stones sat there and now 4 stones sitting there. I'd be on it if my food situation was better, which is, you know, not great by me. I think Master Bricklayer can save something like 7 stone, though, so I should probably still take it. And then, instead of paying the Auk price plus a food to get roof baluster for my renovation, I could just take the 4 stone. Yeah, we see a 2 wood action there. Clearly, to me, that means harpooning is the next action. What did I want to do this round besides day labor? Playmaster bricklayer? What if I fish in day labor? Two veggies sown and gonna bake a grain here. That's okay, but again, like, not multiplying the grain is tragic, in my opinion. Alright, so that's a Reno. Most likely pottery. The restart would be necessary if hard porcelain is in the exchange center, which would make enough sense. Yep, alright. Oh, it takes the well. Sure. Hey, Super Zarni, what's up? We are successfully having the most rooms here. And feeding a tiny bit sketchy, but we'll get through it. The implementation's pretty good. I'm definitely a fan so far. I should fence. It's not filling up my farm, but these animal stacks are really good for me. The sheep and the cow are pretty equivalent. Hey, Heroic Logic, you still have no idea what's going on, Super? We are building rooms, growing our family, making sure we can feed our family, and then we're diversifying our farm to get everything by the end of the game. With more actions, the diversifying is a lot easier. You haven't known the rules yet. Ah, okay. So basically we take resources, then we build stuff. Yeah, all of you have to learn the rules again. It's, for my money, it's the best game in the world, so. So as opposed to like Terra Mystica, where you get income from the stuff you have on the board, the income is like, you have to grab it off the board yourself here. It doesn't come for free. Oh, this fencing action is unfortunate. Well timed. I guess I have that mini pasture, but I can't really afford it. This is not a great fence layout, but I'm not gonna dwell on that point very long. I should probably loam pit here. The L pastures, yeah. This does give red family growth without room if that's what flips in round 12. Red takes the cows. Nobody played Milk Jug. It's in red's hand, I think. I'll definitely need the day labor action. Blue decides to grow here. Does the minor improvement have an effect? I don't see any other reason to grow. Butter churn. No, it doesn't. It's a confusing grow action to me then. More wood for gray. Now has room parts. So, let's see. 2 of my actions should be reedstone food and a crop. Probably vegetable, in case Plowsow comes up. Could buy a cookery here. Blue is just canoeing, doesn't have wood to harpoon with because spent it on butter churn. Just probably take the 3 sheep. A little wasteful without fences, but it's the most food. Pottery's very reasonable also. I could play Master Bricklayer Pottery. Maybe that's my best move. Yeah, that's probably my best. 1 pig. Most likely inaccurate. Just take the 3 sheep, bud. 4 clay. Doesn't make too much sense to me, but, you know. I don't think Normandy's playing a major. And then grain or veg will be remaining. I think veg will be remaining, because there's no reason to take veg when you could take grain with greengrocer. And it also comes with a wood from Firewood Collector, where vegetable seeds doesn't. Pottery is probably the right play over the expensive fireplace, yeah. What was I gonna do? Veg. We have 5 food from our guilds, 5 food from supply. I'm actually not sure I want Plowsow. I mean, I probably do. 6 fields is fine. 4 pasture spaces, nothing wrong with that. I'm not expecting to have a ton of animals this game. The wood's a tiny bit tight. Can I show my occupations improvements? Sure. So I started off this game with Carpenter, saving some wood on rooms because I was planning on playing House Steward and getting a big family. So I ended up playing House Steward in round 8, which is a little late. I also have Assistant Tiller, which is giving me fields when I take day labor, and I also have Loam Pit to complement with the Assistant Tiller, so my day labor actions are actually 2 food, 3 clay, and a plow. Someone at the door, but I don't think I care. If you haven't met my doorbell, now you have. Master Bricklayer also goes really nicely with our plan to build Big House, because we are saving all the stone on all the majors that we ever wanted. But I did spend stone naturally for Basket Maker's Workshop. What else do I have? I have this lumber mill, which saves me a wood on all improvements, major and minor, but it's not the most impactful this game. I have this loom, which will give me food and points if I ever get sheep. And I have a pottery. I am mixing and matching with my feeding. I don't have a cookery, which is more typical. Alright, so Urgent Wish comes up. Tempted Defense here. I don't have food to start player with. It's going to be slow, but I'll plan on 4 wood and fencing next, even though I'm pretty sure blue is going to fence. I'll plan to day labor this round, build a fireplace maybe. Or build the joinery. The joinery is 2 stone and 1 wood discount. I can buy a joinery for 1 wood. If I ever sow this game, it's probably going to be sowing 2 vegetables, and I just take a grain and end with 1 grain point. That's going to be the most efficient. The renovation queue is a little tight here. Nobody really has the clay. This 3 wood action I really think is bad for blue. Blue definitely wanted to fence there, I think. But now I get to fence 10. And I could play Pig Breeder, but most likely I'm just going to grab the sheep. Actually, no, gray is growing, so if blue doesn't grab the sheep, I will get him. And getting the sheep would be absolutely massive for my loom. Strawberry Patch on start player is definitely a solid move. It makes sowing the 2 vegetables and no grain earlier a lot more reasonable. I had forgotten. Yo, what's up, Eddie? On your brother's account, okay. Your brother a soccer fan? We get past a a market stall, but we don't need it. Not really? Okay. I'm thinking of the different Robbie Keane then. This 4 sheep with the loom is complete highway robbery. They'll breed up to 6 by the end of the game if I can find space for them. Which means I probably still want to play mini pasture, like here. I don't really need Pig Breeder if I can just get the 2 pigs. Got destroyed by the Japanese guys. Like, there's a lot of good players on the site. And if you're a little rusty, then, yeah, there isn't that much wiggle room. Alright, so I think... Let's see what blue does. If I'm blue, I'm probably taking 2 pigs. Gray finally does grow to 3. I should consider taking 4 clay. I should consider taking another Reedstone food action, I think. I should consider buying joinery by getting another wood. My big country is pretty sad, but I think we knew that was probably going to happen. If I play Roof Baluster, I can buy Dutch Windmill for points, on top of buying the joinery. But that's really if I just decide to have a huge excess of stone this game. I'm not quite sure I have the food to support it, but getting the pigs here is actually pretty nice. And I can't play Pig Breeder because I don't have food. But Pig Breeder at best was going to give me 2 pigs, an extra breeding, and an extra pig with the card. So taking it from the board I think is just better. I definitely want to renovate this round, which probably means I need to take 5 clay with pretty high priority. I don't expect to have a chance at the 2 cows. This start player is a little interesting, but I guess it's to guarantee Plowsow next round? Basket. Yeah, I don't like what Blue has done this game. Not very cohesive as a strategy, I don't think. So Reedstone Food action space, Reed action space are both good. Gray is gonna sow bake. Should be okay. It's not cows though, which means I should probably just take the 2 cows here and let a boar run away. Or should I go for the 5 clay first? In terms of feeding, a clay and a reed is 5 food. Loom gives me 2 food. I have 2 food, so I have 9 food basically set, even though I'd like a lot more than that. I think 2 cows is good. Do I need to rearrange first? No, I can do it here. And then I can still play Pig Breeder for a point next round if my capacity gets a lot better somehow. Red gets Family Growth and Plow Sow, which is like really great, but you know, the farm development is behind. One of these 2 needs defense! Though the animal stacks are bad again. I need defense. Which means I need to play mini pasture because I'm not fencing another way. Which also means I'm for sure getting no points on big country, and that's okay. I do want to Reno. Blue could Reno this round and force me to hunt both my Renos next round. Be a little unfortunate. I think if I don't pick up... If I don't have the ability to play mini pasture this round, then I will actually get rid of my boar because I have Pig Breeder to get it back in the end. I hope I have enough actions for that. Maybe I should just buy a fireplace if it doesn't work out and just take the sheep back later. I will take 5 clay next if it's around. If not, I probably buy fireplace first. Five clay, Reno fireplace, mini pasture, X is my round. X has to be Reedstone or Reed Bank, I think. Wait. Yeah, no. As long as I get day labor, I should be fine. Oh. If I'm not getting day labor... That's unexpected. I mean, sure, it's a 4-food move for them, so there are definitely worse things, but I'm glad to see them reset their turn here. I'm not happy to see them play improvement. Are they going to settle on an action that I'm happy to see? Unlikely. It might just be the point in the game where they realize they don't have much they can do. Go for Reedstone Food, angling for a Reno next round with another clay action, perhaps. Maybe they're realizing that they would need an extra move, and they're settling for day labor. Alright. Well, if that's what they go with, that's what they go with. Red is fencing here. The more I look at this, the more I think blue is angling for Reno fences first action next round. Which I would consider a misconception of what's actually the strongest move in round 14. This fencing arrangement is fine. It's definitely not the worst. I would probably move this single fence to over here, but that's just such a small difference. One grain for blue. Yeah, there were just like really only 2 or 3 crop sources in this entire draft, which is really rare for this set. Sure, we did draft 7 instead of 8 or more, but given that there's, I don't know, like 12 cards that give grain or veggies in some way, to only see 2 on the board right now, a little crazy. Gray goes for a boar. I will Reno here. No, it goes for 4 clay instead, okay. Being able to Reno next round is going to be really important. And I could build a stone oven for points. Okay, so I should note that my food is not good because I don't have this last day labor action. If I take reedstone food, then I have 3, 6, 8, and I eat a sheep. Mini pasture's probably just not in the plans here. Lose out on a couple points of sheep and loom. Blue is fishing here. I would guess to make sure they're fed for next round. I think that's quite inefficient, but we've seen a lot of inefficiency from opponents this game. So because I'm not looking at mini pasturing, I just won't have enough food. Should I take a veg here? Only Hilarity would consider taking my reed. 3 stones definitely reasonable, 2 cricks. Yeah, I just got the stone for renovating. I was thinking of vegetable for sowing. But that's just a 2-point move, and making sure I have my renovation with tempo is probably the most important. We'll go with it. You're right. So we got our loom food. We're gonna eat a sheep, sadly. And then eat another next round, sadly. We're probably renovating with mini pasture still better than Dutch windmill. Actually, I can't afford Dutch windmill. Better than sleeping corner. Some of what the other players did was annoying. We're winning, but not 60. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is like 55-ish. There are worse outcomes. It's still going to be a comfortable win. We definitely have the most developed farm here. I think I prefer day labor over ploughsow. Because I would only gain 1 point from sowing, but I'm gaining 4 food from day labor with 2 clay and 2 food. Or 3 clay and 2 food, the clay being 2 food. I could definitely consider... Oh, you know, I'm actually not ready to reno yet. I need reed. I did have the right read on blue taking reno fence. So, kind of hilariously, I need to take 4 reed first action. $15 fences incoming here for blue. I think this is actually slightly inefficient. 14 is the same amount of points if you build like a single small pasture in the corner. The only reason you would do this one is if you have capacity for 2 animal types, or if you want capacity for like 2 animal types getting more than 1 point. But with the board as it is, that doesn't seem possible. So I think this is just like throwing a clay away or throwing a wood away. Hey Marushka, it's going easy. Not amazing, but easy. Never really in trouble this game in terms of winning or losing. I made a couple like outright blunders and then wasn't punished for it. Like player behind me had an empty room and I declined to grow, but I got away with it because they weren't fed and I didn't notice. Stuff like that. Good sow bake here. Now has the wood for 2 stables. Yeah, maybe not the most exciting game to be casting here. But that might be the case plenty of times as everyone collectively improves at the game. Until Gray takes reed, I can do other stuff. Oh, Gray had a bunch of animals this game and had to eat them all. It looks like. That's unfortunate. Do I think day labor is at risk? No? Question mark? I am short a grain for having something of everything. There go the stables. I don't think anyone else is short a grain, which is good news. Blue can grow without room here because Gray hasn't elected that. Oh, blue is taking the stone oven. Alright. I was thinking of joinery anyway. So Blues had an okay game. They had a really fun clay embankment, hard porcelain, rammed clay idea. But Harpooner, they didn't get enough wood. which is a little strange. They were really late to grow, and I think if you're playing a strategy like Harpooner Canoe, you really need to grow really fast because you're getting the read here. You're already incentivized to take the wood, and like this Harpooner card scales with the amount of people you have. So to not grow ultra aggressively with Harpooner Canoe is a mistake in my opinion. All right, I'm still not forced to Reno. I will not be forced to Reno. Let me take this crucial action. An occupation from red here. They have to eat their veggies raw. They have 4 food of raw crops to eat. Organic farmer. Okay. That's net 2 points because I think they have to eat a point of food by doing this. Anyway, what do I want to do here? Reno and grain, probably. Could play mini pasture, but joinery is just better. For 1 wood. In terms of feeding, I do have an extra reed for the point difference. I'm not at the right point threshold for having 3, so 2 is good. So that's 5 food. Loom gets me to 7. Clay gets me to 9, and eat the sheep to 11, so I can just take a grain here. As a 2-point move to end it. Very straightforward game here. Oh, I don't get the grain option. Boo. In lieu of the grain option, I believe 4 wood is... It's a point of joinery, and actually means I can eat the wood instead of the clay, so it is a 2-point move. As far as I can tell. So I eat a sheep, a wood, a reed. Are we winning? Yeah, we should... I think I'm winning by at least 10 or 12 here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident this is over 50. This. I ended with all 3 guilds. That's fun. I think the guilds are good in revised base set. Quite good. Just because so many of the cards grant extra resources. My gut instinct tells me I have approximately 52. My gut instinct wasn't great yesterday. Let's see how I do. Hey, Scholar, what's up? Seems hard to follow. Yeah, I mean, you look over here instead. It's not a huge deal. So, like, I get the layout feeling from looking at the boards, and I get the actual counts from here, and it's totally fine, in my opinion. Maybe I'm as high as 56. I'm still not counting, but yeah, I'm between 52 and 56, I would say. 56. And we have 15 points of clearance. Not the most challenging game here. Good job counting, Crix. So yeah, no grain, a missing space. Not the most amazing farm, but we have tons of card and bonus points here. I played no cards without a bonus point on them. Improvements, that is. I mean, Thand, I agree. Like, it's kind of shameful Wow, I'm a good player. I know, right? It's important to know that BGA thinks I'm a good player. And didn't play Big Country. That's also a loss. But you know, I'm not here to have my best game all the time. I'm here to show good strategy in a variety of ways on my stream. I still think this is probably more points for me than if I go for all in on Big Country, but it's certainly very fun to go for the assistant tiller, plow 5 fields very early, and score Big Country for 7 points and 14 food. Like, that's a very fun line, but I don't need to show it off too often, because then I give away all the little details that make it really work out. The important thing is the L-shaped pastures. Yeah. Oh, man. And Marushka said he's going to continue abusing the new players on BGA so they learn. That's fair, too. But, I mean, there's definitely some skill gap here. Alright. I wasn't your friend, Super? Come on, man. Maybe I'll play another one. I do need to go to the bathroom first. But I hate to be this vain. 17 viewers is not very high compared to yesterday. I definitely appreciate all of you. If you told me a year ago that I'd have 17 viewers, that'd be amazing. But maybe 2 games... Like, 2 games is not something I often do for a stream. It's, like, almost never. So maybe wait for a day where we have a huge number of viewers. Yeah. Let me just check one thing here. Okay, nothing's too important on Discord. But yeah, I guess I will end here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this was an entertaining part of your Friday. I still plan on streaming generically 4 times a week next week. If you were not here at the beginning, 2 announcements for next week. Wednesday, I'm streaming a Play Agricola tournament final featuring CS Junior Dave, who is a world champion in the past, Bigfoot729, who's a very experienced Play Agricola player, and Turambar, who's Norwegian champion and extremely strong, ultra high rated. So tune in on Wednesday, the normal stream time. We'll have views of all 4 players' hands for the whole game. I'm casting with Blackjack Davey. It'll be an awesome time. We have a pregame show and everything. So make sure to tune in for that. Announcement number 2, my birthday is next Thursday. I normally don't celebrate it in any way, but probably doing a variety stream if I'm not ultra tired. If I'm ultra tired, I'm just going to do the normal Agricola. But yeah, thanks again, everyone. See you.